We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Top-down historiography is an approach to studying and writing history that focuses on the action, decisions, and influence of individuals or institutions that hold power of society. It views historical change as largely occur because of political leaders, military commanders, or every economic elite who passes the authority of directions the country. With this approach, students will understand history through major political events, government policies, wars, diplomatic negotiation, etc. Rather than focusing on the personal experiences of ordinary people, top-down historiography examines how the decisions are made at the highest level of power. It seeks answers from the questions: who made the decision, what policies are implemented, how institutions rise or collapse, etc. In post-conflict countries, societies often face deep division, trauma, and the loss of trust in both institutions and one another. Different groups may tell different stories of the conflict, creating competing narratives and social tension. In such circumstances, the primary role of history education is not just to validate individual experiences, but to rebuild national unity, political stability, and shared understanding of the past. Therefore, as the opposition theme, I believe that history should prioritize top-down historiography, as it provides students with a systematic understanding of leaders, politics, and institutions that are important for rebuilding the nation. Before I state my own arguments, I would like to respond to the affirmative arguments. In ordinary societies, representation may be the priority, but the post-conflict states and countries, the first duty of education is to rebuild and unite shared national identity, trust in institutions, and common political futures. With top-down historically it does better. In post-conflict states, education is first about forming one shared identity and social reconstruction, not emotional relatability from each person that can be different from one to another. If it focuses too much at the emotional relatability, each person will feel more suffered than the others and it'll cause a new conflict. The example is South Africa post-war. The people don't need relatability, but they need a national narration that forms them into a whole country. Second, top-down historiography is actually more systematic because it builds a clear chronology of the war. People knows how the conflict starts, who's the enemy, the policy made, and how peace agreements happen. But historiography does not do this. It focuses more on fragmented stories from different people, meaning students don't understand the causal structure. Anecdote from different people, making students don't understand the anecdote create empathy, but institutions explain history, which means students understand the cause of conflict and can prevent the next conflict. Third, validation should come at the cost of reopening wounds. If textbook focuses on victim narratives, every person would demand more validation, making another conflict. Recognition is important, but people competing for validation is also dangerous. Also, there are some other ways for recognition other than textbook, like museum or memorials. Fourth, contribution does not equal explanatory importance. People build the country, but to understand why a country collapses, we need to understand construction, leadership, transition, and etc. Post-conflict recovery depends not only people but also institutions. If you want the textbook to help the next generation develop the country, they must understand how institutions success or fail. Now, the main reason I stand with the opposition is that national building requires one shared political narrative, not competing different memories from different persons. In every post-conflict countries, the citizens are divided into different religion, race, or even the social status. Each group will feel that they suffer more than the other, and it'll create more conflict. If the textbook prioritizes the bottom of historiography, students learn about local memories, family trauma, and community suffering that often different from one to another. If we add all that if we all that to the textbook, these different memories to textbook, it'll create trivial memory instead of common memory. To prevent future conflict, students must understand system of power, not just experience of sufferings. Conflicts can happen of constitution failure, courts collapses, and the government lose legitimately, which bottom-up historiography does not teach. If they got taught with the top-down historiography, students will know the signs of corruption, militarization, and authoritarianism. Empathy may tell you what war feels like, but institutions tell you how to stop it. Also, textbooks are tools for teaching education, not platform for emotional validation. Validation is important, but textbooks are not the current institution. The country has other mechanisms like museum, memorials, documentaries, and etc. If textbook become a room for all trauma, every group demands equal recognition. Curriculum becomes politically contested, and textbook will become endless politician bargaining. Thank you.